Joining me now, Washington Times opinion editor, Fox News contributor, Charlie Hurt. Charlie, what's going on here? Are they bad candidates? Megan. But also over in the House, there's some softening of Republican support, isn't there?
Yeah, there certainly is, according to the polling, but I'm always very suspicious about polling, especially this far ahead of an election. That said, obviously Republican leaders in Washington are very skilled at the expectations game, and that's what they're working on right now, is trying to tamp down expectations, which is, I get that. But what is definitely true is that Republicans do have a very difficult map, and we've always known that, particularly in the Senate. You look at races like Wisconsin, like Pennsylvania, and Ohio. All of those are holds, and any one of those races is a good race for a Republican to win. But those are just holds. Republicans are going to have to drive into Democrat territory, or at least moderate, middle of the road territory, in order to pick up actual gains. That said, it's also important to remember that because American voters are under so much duress right now, whether it's gas prices or what they pay at the grocery store or whatever. There's crime, illegal immigration, all of these things under so much duress that you can make the argument that they're really not paying that close attention to the election yet. And weirdly, the worse things are in the country, the later voters tune in to the election. But when they do tune in, it's going to be really bad for the ruling party, in this case, Democrats and Joe Biden.
Well, let's talk about what's going on with the raid on Mar-a-Lago down in Florida. The federal judge, Bruce Reinhart, saying that he will release portions of the affidavit used to justify the FBI search warrant and raid on former President Trump's home, ordering the Department of Justice to submit proposed redactions by next week. Charlie, just your reaction to this, but does this energize the Republican base, or does it suck oxygen away from Republican candidates who are running for election or re-election?
It's kind of a draw, because obviously it's going to energize people on both sides of the aisle. But I would argue that it's going to energize people sort of at the extremes, or farther away from the center on both sides. Committed Trump supporters are going to be energized by this, but also the Trump haters are going to be energized by this. But what's important is that vast group of people in the middle, they don't care about this. They care about filling up, how much it costs to fill up their car right now. They care about what they're paying at the grocery store right now. They do not care about some dispute over presidential records. They don't care about it. And I think that this effort, this clear effort to politicize all of this, and the fact that you have Democrats, and of course in Washington you've got them doing the same stuff with the January 6th committee, all of this reminds people, and again, they're not really tuned in right now, I don't think, but once they do tune in, they're going to be like, wait a minute, these people aren't doing anything to make my life better, which makes it very difficult for Democrats.
I was just talking.
So I think ultimately it's a win for Republicans.
I was just talking about this with Steve Scalise, the James Carville, saying a majority of GOP voters are really stupid, evil racists, and then Charles Blow in the New York Times writing that Republicans are America's problem. And I ask you this, I bring it up because this racial demagoguery, man, they've lost their short-term memory just like Joe Biden. The racial demagoguery did not work in the state of Virginia. Look at what happened there. They tried to pull this same garbage with Glenn Youngkin and Winsome Sears and Jason Mieres. It didn't work there, but it's also the point of it is, I said this on the 5 yesterday, is to dehumanize voters. So a bigot can't be worried about, a bigot and a racist can't be worried about putting food on the table. A bigot can't be upset about a family member who's died from a fentanyl poisoning. A bigot can't be frightened about spiking crime. But just how do you see this messaging from the Crypt Keeper and some writers?
Yeah. Well, not only that, but also you've got people, people in our intelligence services saying the exact same thing. You've got, General Milley saying the exact same thing from his perch in the military. You've got, and you had the lawyer arguing on behalf of DOJ before the judge about whether or not to release the affidavit, saying on the raid at Mar-a-Lago, saying that they shouldn't release it because these Trump supporters are so dangerous. dangerous that if they read this, it's going to, I don't know what it's going to do. But this is really, really crazy and unhinged stuff. But if you're Democrats and you have built your party around racial identity politics, which is completely racist, and you've done it for decades now, you can't walk away from it. You have nothing if you do walk away from it, but you can't. So in a lot of ways, they're getting even more desperate. And I pray that enough people see through it. A lot of people are starting to see through it, and I think it's backfiring. But obviously, we've got a long ways to go before everybody, everybody sees through it. But they should, because it's appalling, it's disgusting, and it's un-American.
Before we go, Charlie, you have a new op-ed in the Washington Times on how the Trump administration approached challenges from a position of strength, while the Biden administration does the opposite. And you wrote this: every decision of this administration in terms of the economy, energy independence, border security, foreign diplomacy has weakened America and strengthened our enemies. From day one, Charlie.
Yeah, it's incredible. And if you just look at the issue of the war in Ukraine, under Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin could not afford to do anything. When Joe Biden went after American energy independence and destroyed it, he strengthened and enriched Putin to the point that he could invade Ukraine. And it's as simple there, but it plays out all across the world, whether it's in Iran or China. Every one of our enemies are strengthened under this president, and America is weakened.
Weakness is the oxygen of tyrants. I came up with that one. All right,
Amen.
before we go,
Amen,
I'm going to talk to you the way that my father would talk to you if he bumped into you in Chatham.
Oh, no.
Charlie,
Oh, no.
This is the way my father speaks.
Did my wife put you up to this?
No. This is the way my dad speaks.
Okay.
Charlie, what happened to your face?
You go off the grid for 1 week without power, without water, and then you come back as a caveman. Once the beard stopped itching, I couldn't shave it off.
There's a thing as a disposable razor, a straight blade,
I broke 2 of them trying to get it off. Yeah, it didn't work. So I gave up.
Clearly.
I think my wife put you up to this.
Nope. It's just Southern talk. If that's exactly what my father would ask you if he bumped into you at the grill, at the drugstore grill in the middle of Brookneal.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what my wife said to me, too.
What happened to your face? Charlie Hart, love you. Loved your family. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend.